Before the trick known as SBA or skee ball abuse was discovered, the way people speedran Battle for Bikini Bottom was at a unanimous agreement. Finish the game by all means necessary without the use of cheat codes. But as many of you know, SBA changed everything, and the leaderboards were drastically altered, and the any percent category was now like nothing it had ever been before. The same can be said for another trick, a trick virtually half the people that run the game either cannot perform or don't have the option of doing. Some say it hurts their eyes, some say it hurts their soul. Today we are going to cover the speedrun history of Battle for Bikini Bottom's most notoriously tarnished speedrunning trick, lag clipping. Enjoy. 2 years ago, a runner by the name of Roberto64 showcased light on the first ever instance of clipping through the floor by simply pausing the game. While he performed this trick in a useless spot at the time, this opened many possibilities. So what is lag clipping? Well, in this game, another exploit known as cruise boosting, the trick that more than doubles SpongeBob's speed, gives you even more access than you could imagine. Using cruise boosting, the player has options to L-clip, L-bowl, and sponge glide in certain areas, but they also have the option to store downward momentum specifically. While getting this first part down isn't too tricky, there's a good reason why people refer to this trick as lag clipping. In order to actually clip through floors, the player has to mash start and select extremely fast to generate their own lag, while also having their camera lined up in certain areas so the game loads as much stuff on the screen as possible, and in a run with many hard tricks, these lag clips could be the only thing standing between speedrunners and personal bests. Just like any speedrunning trick or glitch, it can be mastered. Why, when I first saw it and tried it for myself, I thought it was stupid and didn't know what I was doing. Many people unfortunately don't make it past this first stage of learning. To lag clip, you have to really lay into your controller and practice it quite a bit. Other people were worried that this trick would cause people with pre-existing conditions epileptic seizures, and called for the immediate ban of this trick. And for the most unfortunate, GameCube and PS2. Most people are aware that the Xbox version of this game not only looks the best, but has the fastest loading times of any other console. Ironically, getting these games to lag on Xbox and Xbox 360 is the easiest of the consoles. Some PlayStation 2 users are able to perform this glitch using the disc ejection trick. GameCube and Dolphin users, however, aren't so lucky. While emulating games can be different for everyone depending on the PC you have, it was agreed that even if someone could lag clip easier than others when using emulators, the trick should be banned from that platform exclusively. After all the drama was said and done, it was finally time to see what these lag clips could do for the game to benefit it. And boy, there was a lot. Let's start with arguably the toughest and most time-saving lag clip, Drain the Lake clip. Infamous for being a very RNG heavy section of the run casually, Drain the Lake clip saved roughly 30 seconds in the any percent category. While the skill ceiling was high for this trick, the payoff was huge.
It looks like he might do it.
Yeah?
He's definitely going for it. This can definitely
This is huge.
a lot of time.
This
Yeah,
is
that's
fucking
big
huge.
time save right there.
That's, oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. Whew, that was
Wow.
really close. He almost fell off.
He's
Yeah,
in the
that's-
lead now.
That just evened it up. That actually just evened it up.
Yeah,
That's
straight up.
insane.
The first lag clip to ever be seen as useful was a trick known as Art Skip, where you click the debug trigger underneath Mrs. Puff to trick the game into thinking you've collected all 6 paintings. I have already talked about this trick in more depth in my Glitches and Oddities video, but it was definitely worth mentioning. What I really want to talk about here is how one of the hardest spatulas in the game went from this, it's dead. At least I tried. Oh shoot.
See how this works out for him. Right? Looks like he's gonna be landing down there, setting up the bowling shot. Oh my god! Wow! First try goo cage clip.
Oh, he's got this in the bag now.
To this. Alright, so what you gotta do is do this, turn your camera, jump. The original GCC or Goo Cage clip required a frame perfect and near pixel perfect setup to clip into this cage in Dutchman's Graveyard. Back in the day, this trick was exclusively for the big boys who used the newly dubbed needleless route. When lag clipping was discovered though, nearly everyone could snag the spatula as it was one of the easiest to perform, turning a once impressive trick into a baby trick. Then we have absolute BS lag clips like the original Poseidon clip. The only reason I had such an easy time with this trick was because my Xbox at the time was very slow and bad, thus making this trick for most other runners a rarity. And then we have Industrial Park clip, which has only been done by 3 people and is never going to be viable for runs. Oh! Lag clipping was controversial, but just like most things with this game's speedrunning community, everyone learns to accept them for what they are. And while any percent might not be as great as it once was, I would argue it's different enough to warrant playing. 100% on the other hand, that's some good stuff. Thank you for watching. I've been pretty swamped with house sitting and replaying The Last of Us on grounded difficulty. It's pretty tough that I barely had time to make this video. Next week I'm a bit more open and might even get around to making some Pajama Sam and Rehydrated videos. That'll do it for today's episode. Peace.